Hello class 6. Today we are going to learn about open and closed figures. So you have seen geometrical figures like circle, a rectangle and a triangle. All these figures are enclosed by a continuous curves or a continuous lines. Okay, they are continuous and there is no breakage in between. So these uh, figures are closed. Okay, so they are called closed figures. In this figure, the same figures are broken up. Okay, and the lines or the curves are made discontinuous, so they are not continuous. All right, so these kind of figures are not closed, but they are called as open figures. And sometimes you'll find out some of the figures are having the lines which intersect with each other, so they have the intersecting lines. So in open figures, in closed figures, we find that there is no discontinuity of the lines, and neither they are this kind of intersecting lines. So we can say that if there is a closed figure, then the interior, means the one which is colored with yellow, is called the interior portion of the figure, okay, which is inside, and the one which is outside, the yellow colored ones, are called the exterior of the figure. Now we have some ovals like this, okay, or like this. Okay, if this kind of figures where the curves are there, okay, here the curves are there, the lines are not there, here the line is there but the curves are also there. So this kind of figures with the curve as their boundaries have curvilinear boundaries. They're supposed to have curvilinear boundaries, and the figures of this type, where all the edges, all the boundaries are made up of lines, then they are said to have linear boundaries. So we have curvilinear boundaries and linear boundaries. So one with the linear boundaries over here are, the first figure is triangle, where all the three sides, where the figure has the three sides with, these are the three sides, and there are three angles formed. Okay, this angle, this angle and this angle, which makes it called as a triangle. So triangle is a figure of three sides which forms three angles. Next we have a rectangle. Rectangle has four sides. Two of the opposite sides are equal. This side is equal to this side, this side is equal to this side, and the longer one is called as the length, okay, and the shorter one is called the breadth. So a rectangle has two lengths and two breadths. Next we have square. A square is a four-sided figure with all the four sides equal. Okay, all these four sides are equal, and also the angles formed by these four sides, the four angles formed, are 90 degrees to each other. So if you have 90 degrees and if all the four sides equal, then it's called a square. Next we have a circle. Now it's not a linear, it's not a figure with the linear boundaries, it is curvilinear boundaries. Now the circle is such a figure which has a center, okay, and from the center the circle is always equally away every time you draw the circle. So the distance from this point to this point, let's say, or from this point to any other point, from here to here, from here to here, or from here to here, anywhere in the circle is always equidistant from the center. Means the distance between the center and that particular point in that circle is always equal. Next we have the two intersecting lines. When the two lines intersect in such a way that the angle formed in between is equal to 90 degree, then we call this kind of lines as perpendiculars. Okay, so they are intersecting at 90 degrees, thus they are called as perpendicular lines. And if the two lines are perpendicular to each other in such a way that they are this line, this portion from here to here and from here to here is equal to is equal to each other, sorry, this line from here to here is equal to this line from here to here. That means if the line is divided by the perpendicular equally into two halves, this is the perpendicular bisector. All right, so this line is the perpendicular bisector. If this divides this line into two equal parts, then this is the perpendicular bisector for this line. And if this line also divides this line equally into two halves, then this is also the perpendicular bisector for this line. So these are called the perpendicular bisectors if they divide each other equally into two equal parts. So with this you can do your assignment. Exercise 23B, page number 212, question number 1, 2 and 3. Thank you.